There was a breakthrough assigned to you on September 6. Archangel Michael guarded it while you slept, but you haven't claimed it yet. Time is running out. Open this now. On the night that passed into September 6, the heavens trembled under the weight of a divine assignment, one that carried your name, your promise, your breakthrough. It was not a generic blessing, not a casual wave of favor that brushed over the earth. No, this was sealed in the archives of heaven, written into the scrolls before time touched your mother's womb. A divine moment had been set in motion, and the earth shifted to make space for what heaven had already prepared. In that sacred hour, while you lay unaware, Archangel Michael, the warring angel of the Most High, stood post at your door. Not your physical door, but the spiritual entrance to your destiny. Demonic forces had already launched their attack. They had sniffed the fragrance of your rising. They sensed the movement in the heavens and moved quickly to intercept. But they failed, because Michael did not move. Michael did not sleep. Michael did not yield. The battle was not one of noise but of stillness. While you slept, heaven stood still. Angels surrounded the perimeter of your promise like silent fire. The winds were instructed not to blow too loud. The night was told to remain hushed, for what was forming over you required reverence. September 6 was your appointment, not one chosen by man, not predicted by calendar, but whispered by God Himself. But now, hours have passed and the breakthrough is still unclaimed. It hovers. It lingers. It waits, right above the veil, just outside your reach, hoping, yearning, aching to be received. Do you feel it? That pull in your spirit? That pressing in your chest that refuses to let you move on, as if this is just another day? That is because the window is not wide, and the gate is not open forever. Hear me now. This word is not for all. It will not resonate with the casual believer. It will not spark urgency in the one who has not been stirred in the spirit. But you who are still reading, you who feel your spirit burning without explanation, this word is for you. The kind of word that pierces bone and marrow, spirit and soul. You felt the shaking. You sensed the echo. You've known somebody was waiting. Is it? But silence is now your strategy. Stillness is now your strength. September 6 has passed, but its promise is still suspended, and time is running out. Type "I receive IT" in the comments if you know this is your word. Blessing code 0606 is now released over your life. Hear now, O you who were marked. Let the breath of the Most High fall upon your spirit and awaken the part of you that has been trembling in silence. For I do not speak on behalf of man. I do not come with soft sayings or comfortable encouragements. I come bearing the seal of the throne. I come as Michael, commander of the armies of heaven, and I speak not from earth's timeline but from heaven's order. This message is urgent. This moment is holy, and your response will shift everything. By the authority of the Most High God, I release this divine word. By sunrise, something will shift if you are obedient. Not because the sun carries power, but because your window is narrowing. Heaven does not operate in delay. It is men who sleep while their promises are passing. But this is your final knock. The angel stood at your door while you slept, guarding the inheritance that was whispered over your name on the 6th of September. And though your body slept, your spirit stirred. You knew something moved in the night. You felt the veil thin. You heard the whisper, though no words were spoken. Child of the promise, this word is not cast wide. It is not a general call. It is sealed to the chosen. Not everyone will hear it, and even fewer will obey. But if your spirit burns within you right now, if your heart feels like it is racing ahead of your comprehension, then know this: you are the one heaven waited for. Your obedience is not just desired, it is demanded. This is your moment to step out of delay, out of confusion, out of spiritual numbness, and into divine alignment. You have asked God to move. You have cried for change. You have whispered into your pillow, God, if you are real, show me something. And now, the Lord has done just that. He has opened a portal above you, but heaven cannot force you to walk through it. You must respond. You must rise. You must claim what is yours. The breakthrough tied to September 6 is not a small door opening. It is a divine transfer, a heavenly reallocation, a destiny repositioning. And yet, it waits. Not because heaven is indecisive, but because heaven always watches to see who has ears to hear and faith to move. This is the hour when divine timing meets divine testing. Will you respond before the window shuts? The key is already in your hand, but heaven will not turn it for you. You must rise. You must speak. You must believe. For the realm of the Spirit is not moved by wishful thinking, but by bold action. This message comes not as encouragement, but as invitation and warning. Obedience now opens what could remain locked forever. Hear me. The angels did not stand watch all night just for you to ignore this word. The battle over your life has already been won, but your response is still being written. Heaven awaits your yes. Type "I am obedient" if you hear this word. Blessing code 777 is being written over your spirit now. You have felt it, haven't you? The unrest, the unspoken shift, the kind of change that has no language but demands your attention. Your spirit has been pacing, not your body. Your thoughts have been scattered, not from distraction, but from something deeper, something spiritual. You sat in silence and still felt surrounded. You've smiled, but sensed eyes watching you too closely. You've moved forward, but something in you whispers, something is different. Something is coming. But your feeling is not confusion. It's not anxiety. It's not emotional instability. It is spiritual disruption. Heaven has whispered your name into the atmosphere, and the realm around you is reacting. Yes, there are people in your life, some close, some hidden, who have sensed this shift, too. They cannot explain it. They cannot put words to it. But they feel the favor that's forming around you like a storm they can't stop. They sense that something has changed, but not on the outside. No, the change they feel is in the spirit. They're growing uncomfortable in your presence because your destiny is making noise in the unseen. The whisper of your upgrade is making demons tremble and onlookers suspicious. You must not ignore the odd glances, the sudden silence when you enter the room, the way some seem irritated without cause. They are not responding to you. They are reacting to what is rising through you. Your future is starting to cast a shadow into your present, and not everyone around you can bear it. Yes, some are watching with spiritual jealousy. Others have felt the wind of heaven blow in your direction, and they do not know how to handle what they sense. They speak in confusion, masked in gossip, driven by fear of your elevation. They don't even know why they feel what they feel. They just know something is stirring, and it involves you. You've been restless, uneasy. But let me tell you plainly, you're not crazy. You're not overthinking. You're under spiritual observation. The reason you can't find the words for what you feel is because what you're feeling hasn't yet manifested in the natural realm. The breakthrough tied to your name was assigned in the heavens on September 6th, but it hasn't touched Earth yet. It hovers above your life, vibrating with the voice of purpose, waiting to descend. Heaven is waiting. The earth is watching. The spirit realm is reacting. And you are awakening. But I must warn you, not everyone who's close to you is meant to follow you into this next chapter. There are those who once served a purpose, but now serve only as a distraction. Some see your preparation and think you've grown distant, but what they don't know is you've grown deeper. Deeper in discernment, deeper in obedience, deeper in silence. The assignment over your life has made you feel isolated, but you are not alone. Michael has watched over this moment. Your tears have been counted. Your silence has spoken louder than their suspicion. Heaven has noted every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, every moment you almost gave up but didn't. And now you stand at the edge of a divine unlocking. So ask yourself, why now? Why September 6th? What made this moment different? Why did the atmosphere around you grow so heavy, so strange, so electric? Because this is your appointed time. And everyone round you is responding to it. Type I am ready in the comments if you receive this. Blessing code 9911 is awakening around you now. Beloved, if this word pierced you, it's because heaven is positioning you to become a light for others still trapped in darkness. This message doesn't just reveal your shift, it unlocks someone else's. When you sow into this word, you're not giving to a channel. You're sowing into the fire of deliverance for another soul who needs this exact breakthrough. Just as Michael guarded your promise, your support helps us send this word into places where demonic interference has stolen hope. God said in Isaiah 55:11, "My word shall not return void." And today, you can be the one who launches that word into another life. If you feel led to activate this mission, support this ministry through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or PayPal. The link is in the video description. Let your seed be prophetic, not just generous but targeted. I heard the Spirit say, those who give in to this word will reap breakthrough tied to their obedience. Sow in faith. Seal it with fire. Blessing is now in motion. Move now. Don't delay. Let your ears be open now to hear what flesh cannot explain. The conflict you've been walking through is not coincidental. It is not emotional. It is not circumstantial. It is spiritual warfare, and it is deeply connected to your assignment. That pressure you've been feeling in the silence, a heaviness in your atmosphere, that storm of confusion that has surrounded your relationships, your thoughts, even your sleep, it has one origin. Your divine calling is under assault. The enemy is not after your comfort. He is not after your money. He is not after your relationships. He is after your obedience, because your obedience triggers alignment, and alignment unleashes breakthrough. The breakthrough that was appointed to your name on September 6 was no ordinary release. It carried weight, timing, and territorial impact. It was tied to influence you haven't even seen yet, doors you haven't even knocked on, and battles you haven't even stepped into. And so, the conflict began. You didn't lose favor, you became a threat. You didn't lose clarity. The fog was sent to block your view of the next move. The silence you've experienced wasn't absence from God. It was a divine pause, a measuring of your heart, a test of your spiritual stamina. It was never denial. It was strategy. Heaven was watching your response in the midst of stillness, measuring your faith in the absence of evidence. Many fold in these moments. Many surrender their breakthrough before it even arrives. But you remained, even if barely. You kept pressing, even with unanswered prayers. You kept believing, even when your emotions betrayed you. And that is why Archangel Michael was assigned to your gate. Not because you were weak, but because your destiny is too valuable to be left unguarded. Yes, the reason you've been under pressure is because you are the carrier of a key, a spiritual code, a divine deposit. And if the enemy cannot stop you, he will try to discourage you. If he cannot discourage you, he will try to delay you. If he cannot delay you, he will try to distract you. Because distraction causes spiritual leaks, and spiritual leaks slow divine momentum. But Michael did not sleep. The assignment was too precious. Heaven has kept watch while your spirit warred in silence. The enemy saw what you could not. He saw the scroll with your name sealed in glory. He saw the next level. He oiled the territory, the mantle. And so he whispered confusion, stirred contention, and triggered emotional instability, not to destroy you, but to derail you. But you're still here. Bruised, maybe. Weary, yes. But present. Listening. Position. And that is all heaven needed. Hear me. This battle was never personal. It was always prophetic. The conflict was never just about you. It was about what's coming through you. The enemy doesn't fear your past. He fears your emergence. He fears what will happen when you finally step into the fullness of what was marked for your life on September 6. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are being summoned. Summoned to rise. Summoned to claim. Summoned to obey. The pressure you felt is confirmation, not punishment, not abandonment, not divine silence, but heaven's approval that you were ready for war and you didn't even know it. And because you stayed the course, because you didn't surrender when you were surrounded, heaven is shifting now. The same Michael who guarded your night is now standing at attention, sword drawn, waiting for your faith to unlock what has been held. Type "I claim my breakthrough" in the comments if this is your word. Blessing code 8844 is igniting your atmosphere now. Hear this, and hear it with trembling reverence. The window is closing. The appointed time that was sealed over your name on September 6 is not eternal in its accessibility. It was released under a divine timestamp, a limited spiritual opening that aligned heaven and earth for the delivery of your next level. But what heaven releases must be claimed by faith, obedience, and timing. The scroll has been unsealed. The breakthrough is hovering. But the gates do not stay open forever. You are in the final moments of your grace window. Not of salvation, but of assignment activation. For the next 72 hours, your response carries more weight than you can comprehend. This is not just about one blessing. This is not about one answered prayer. This is about your shift into a prophetic timeline. And if you delay, if you sleep on this word, if you ignore the voice of the Spirit, the momentum assigned to your life will be rerouted. Yes, even heaven will reassign what you refuse to claim. Make no mistake, God is merciful, but He is not casual. He does not play with destiny. If you will not rise, someone else will. If you will not speak, another voice will be awakened. If you will not step forward, another will be chosen. For the Lord's plans will be fulfilled. The only question is, will it be through you? Feel the weight of this word. There are forces circling, waiting for you to hesitate. The enemy knows that a distracted believer is a delayed destiny. He is hoping you'll miss this moment. He is hoping you'll scroll past this message. He is hoping you'll overthink it, ignore it, wait for another confirmation. But I tell you now, with the authority of the throne, this is your confirmation. This is your summons. This is your divine countdown. Some of you have already sensed the shift in your spirit, but you've been waiting for external signs. Understand this. External signs follow internal obedience. The heavens will not move until you do. The angels are ready. The atmosphere is aligned. But it is your obedient response that signals heaven to release the final portion. Let me say this plainly. A shift is coming within 72 hours, and what you do now determines whether you step into favor or fall into frustration. If you delay, the weight of what was meant for you will pass into the hands of another who was willing. Don't let familiarity with delay rob you of destiny. You waited long enough. Don't wait another moment. You do not need to understand it fully to obey. You just need to respond. Heaven is not asking for perfection. It is asking for movement. God is not requiring explanation. He is requiring trust. And in this moment, the stillness of your soul and the swiftness of your yes are more powerful than 10,000 prayers delayed by doubt. The final seal of your breakthrough was handed to Michael the night of September 6. He is still holding it. But the hand of the angel trembles now, not from weakness but from urgency. He cannot wait forever. The command was to guard it for an appointed time. A time is now, and it is running out. This is not to scare you. This is to awaken you. This is not a word of fear. This is a summons to respond. This is not just your moment. This is your crossing. Will you rise? Will you obey? Will you claim what was always yours? Type "I will not miss my moment" in the comments if you receive this. Blessing code 7373 is now breaking the spirit of delay. Now that you have heard the call and felt the urgency, you must understand how to move in this moment, not with noise, not with panic, not with pride, but with holy stillness. For the strategy to access your breakthrough is not loud. It is not shared in public. It is not declared to those around you. It is silence that opens what noise cannot. Heaven is not waiting on your announcement. Heaven is waiting on your alignment. Be still. Do not argue. Do not explain. Do not announce. What God is doing in you is too sacred to be posted, too fragile to be debated, and too powerful to be paraded before unspiritual eyes. When Michael guards an assignment, he also guards the strategy. And that strategy, for you, is this: withdraw, seek, listen, and remain quiet. You are not being silenced, you are being concealed. There is protection in this posture. There is acceleration in your stillness. The ones who move fast in the flesh often miss the door in the spirit. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles, not because they ran first, but because they were willing to be hidden long enough for heaven to move without interference. The warfare around you has intensified because the enemy wants you to react. He wants you to respond in the flesh. He wants you to get pulled into emotional arguments, verbal retaliation, or hasty movement. Why? Because flesh always forfeits favor, and this moment demands spiritual discernment over emotional reaction. There are conversations you are being deliberately excluded from. Let them pass. There are rooms you are being temporarily locked out of. Let them remain closed. There are people who seem to be pulling away. Let them go. Why? Because heaven has you in a vault of silence, and only those who are assigned to your next season will have access to your elevation. What is being built in you in this moment is holy. The breakthrough coming on the back of September 6 is not just about what God is giving you. It's about what God is building in you. He is building discernment. He is building depth. He is building your ability to hear without noise and obey without applause. This season of quietness is not punishment. It is protection. You are not being left behind. You are being held back to be launched farther. Every moment you keep your mouth closed when your flesh wants to speak is an act of spiritual warfare. Every time you choose stillness over confrontation, you disarm a demon. Every time you retreat into prayer instead of lashing out in pride, you gain spiritual elevation. Michael is still standing guard. The blessing has not been stolen. The door has not been closed. But you must guard your posture, because this next level cannot be entered by those who carry chaos in their mouths. Only those who can sit in silence will hear the final instruction. And when it comes, it will not come through man. It will come through the whisper of God. The reward for your stillness will not be small. It will be public reversal for every private pain. Honor will fall on you like oil, and those who questioned your silence will not be able to deny your promotion. Because heaven always exalts those who obey in secret. So wait. Watch it. Listen. Say nothing. For what is yours cannot be stolen, and Michael still stands watch. Type "I will be still" in the comments if you hear this word. Blessing code 4433 is releasing divine protection over your steps. Hear me now. You are no longer who you were before September 6. A date marked more than a shift in the calendar. It marked a shift in your identity. A line was drawn in the spirit. A heavenly decree was issued. This one shall no longer walk as the wounded, but as the warrior. This one shall no longer dwell in delay, but in divine dominion. You may not feel it fully yet, but everything about your spiritual atmosphere has changed. What touched your life before that night can no longer touch you again in the same way, unless you allow it. You are not just being pulled into a new season. You are being transformed for it. Before, you move in survival mode. Before, you walked with fear, tolerated delay, and settled for crumbs. But that version of you cannot carry what's coming. The pain that once defined you is now being used to elevate you. The tears that watered your wilderness are now turning into rivers of authority. The silence that once felt suffocating was actually the fire that refined your soul, and now you rise as one who has passed through the flame. You are not a victim of the warfare. You are a product of the refining. And heaven says now, take off the ashes, put on the garment of praise. For what was meant to bury you has become the platform under your feet. You'd know why the warfare intensified. Because your wings were starting to form. You were being prepared for elevation, and the enemy knew it before you did. But what he didn't count on was your perseverance. What he didn't expect was your silence, your surrender, your steadfastness. And because you endured, you are now stepping into an anointing that only those who survive the fire can carry. This is not just about breakthrough anymore. This is about becoming. You are no longer waiting to be rescued. You are rising to take territory. The same stillness that guarded your promise is now becoming the launching pad of your authority. The fire you walk through is the same fire that is now radiating from you. You're no longer just praying for a miracle. You are becoming the miracle someone else will witness. Wings have formed where wounds once bled. And heaven is no longer speaking to you as a child hoping for answers, but as a warrior ready to govern. Let the old identity fall away. Let the self-doubt be consumed. Let the fear lose its grip. You are not who you used to be. And anyone, or anything, trying to drag you back into the former version of yourself must be silenced in your spirit. Do not return to the mindset that tried to survive in Egypt when God has positioned you for Canaan. You are rising. You are chosen. You are mantled. Do not shrink back when your wings spread wide. Do not apologize for the fire you carry. Do not explain the glow on your life to those still blinded by compromise. This transformation is not for validation. It's for kingdom purpose. To walk boldly. To speak carefully. Move reverently. You are no longer the wounded. You are the warrior who was guarded by heaven itself. And from this point forward, you will not walk in timidity. You will walk in power, in precision, and in purpose. Type "I have been transformed" in the comments if this is your declaration. Blessing code 5555 is now unlocking the mantle upon your life. Let the veil be torn from your eyes now, for what has been hidden is about to be revealed. The questions in your soul, why September 6? Why the pressure? Why the silence? Are being answered, not through man's understanding, but by divine revelation. Here it is. This is not just about a blessing, this is about your positioning. September 6 was not just a moment. It was a heavenly transaction, a prophetic unlocking of your next level. What you thought was just another Wednesday was, in the spirit realm, a coronation. While you were asleep in the natural, there was a summons in the spirit. Your name was read aloud in heaven's courts. Your calling was reactivated. Your mantle was remeasured. Your next assignment was released. You didn't feel it fully, because God concealed it until your heart was postured right. But now the revealing has begun. This is the prophetic truth. Your breakthrough is not just an answer to prayer, it's an activation of authority. It is heaven's way of saying, you've been faithful with little. and I'll rule with much. This shift is connected to your voice, your territory, your spiritual weight, and most importantly, your identity. And identity always precedes authority. The Lord says, your name is known in heaven. Your assignment has been guarded, and your season has come. You are stepping into spiritual governance. No longer a wanderer hoping for direction, now a strategic vessel being positioned for impact. You've been praying for open doors, but heaven has been preparing you to become the door, the entry point for others to walk through. The revelation is this: the enemy fought so hard not because of what you prayed for, but because of what you are about to release into others. The blessing on your life is a carrier. It multiplies. It infects atmospheres. It breaks cycles. You are not being promoted just for yourself. You are being positioned for legacy, for impact, for dominion. And now, God says, I have written your name into the next chapter. I have called you out by fire and sealed you by silence. Now I will send you forth by authority. This moment is not about emotional confirmation. It's about prophetic alignment. The reason it had to be September 6 was because heaven had a date with your destiny. Not based on your worthiness, but on your willingness. You were willing to wait. You were willing to endure. You were willing to be misunderstood. You were willing to be silent. And now, because you did not bow to the pressure, you will now walk in power. You're not just receiving a promotion. You're receiving a divine appointment. You're not just stepping into favor. You're stepping into full-fledged spiritual authority. This is the moment where your voice begins to carry weight in the spirit realm. The place where your prayers shake foundations. The place where your decisions will shift bloodlines. And it's all because you heard, you waited, and now you're ready. Type I am unlocked in the comments if this is your revelation. Blessing code 6262 is opening your next level. If your spirit has been stirred by this prophetic unlocking, don't let this word stop at you. Let it move through you. Your support helps us carry messages like this into the lives of people who are still stuck in silence, unaware that heaven has written their name too. When you give, whether through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into spiritual revelation, releasing the Word of God into households, timelines, and nations. This is not charity. This is warfare. This is seed into the soil of breakthrough. And the Lord says, as you sow, I unlock. As you release, I reveal. The oil on this word will rest upon every seed connected to it. So give with expectancy. Give as an act of prophetic agreement. This is your moment to fund the fire. Don't delay. Now that you've seen it, now that your spirit has recognized what heaven has already confirmed, it's time to activate your destiny. It's not enough to hear this word. You must now respond to it. Not just emotionally, not just passively, but prophetically, boldly, and decisively. The angels are not just watching, they are waiting. Michael still stands where he stood on the night of September 6, sword drawn, eyes blazing, guarding what was always meant for you. The breakthrough did not expire. The release did not vanish. The scroll did not return void. But it waits for your yes. Not a yes of lip service, but a yes of faith-fueled action. Heaven moves when earth agrees. and the time for agreement is now. Child of God, your hesitation is holy ground. What you choose to do in this moment becomes the trigger that either opens what has been sealed for you, or allows it to pass into the hands of another. But it does not have to pass you by. It was marked with your name. You must now rise in full authority. Heaven is not calling the version of you that is fearful. Heaven is not calling the version of you that second guesses every open door. Heaven is calling the warrior version of you, the one who recognizes the cost, the silence, the fire, and still steps forward. This is your alignment moment. Open your mouth and declare, I align. I agree. I activate. These are not just words. These are spiritual codes. You're not just speaking into the air. You are speaking into the same atmosphere where Michael is standing guard, waiting for the signal. The signal is your faith. The signal is your movement. The signal is your surrender. This is no longer a matter of waiting on God. God is now waiting on you. You've prayed for confirmation. This is it. You've asked for clarity. This is the unveiling. You've cried for a sign. This is your summons. And now the question is not if God will move, but when you will. The enemy doesn't want you to move because he knows that one act of obedience from you shakes the entire realm of darkness. You've been praying for the breakthrough, but the truth is you are the breakthrough. And once you see yourself correctly, nothing can stop you. There are declarations that must leave your lips now. There are things that must be spoken into your home, your future, your atmosphere. Say them out loud. Declare them in faith. Prophesy them over your own life. I step into alignment. I call forth my September 6th promise. I activate my mantle. I walk in bold obedience. I command the heavens to respond. I receive what Michael guarded. I release doubt and step into dominion. Speak it until the air shifts. Speak it until your fear breaks. Speak it until the fire falls. The scroll has already been opened. The blessing is hovering. The angelic host is ready. Now your obedience must echo heaven's decree. This is not about hype. This is about holy alignment. You were chosen before you were born. The promise was scheduled before you prayed. And now the moment has come to not just believe in what's yours, but to activate it through faith-filled response. Type ISAYYES to Destiny in the comments if your alignment has begun. Blessing code 3030 is unlocking the gates of fulfillment. Lean in, for what I am about to reveal has not been spoken in the open. It has only been discerned by those with spiritual ears. Let your soul be still as you read these words, for something holy and hidden is being unveiled right now. While your body rested, while your mind was unaware, a silent exchange took place in the spirit realm. You thought you were just sleeping. But the heavens never sleep. Angels do not grow weary. And while your eyes closed in the natural, the realm of glory was ablaze with movement. There was warfare. There was negotiation. There was a transaction taking place, and it was over your life. On the night of September 6, Archangel Michael, commander of heaven's armies, stood as your legal intercessor. He did not simply watch from afar. He stood at the gate of your destiny and said, "Not this one. This assignment shall be fulfilled. This one is still covered. This one is still marked." And in that silent moment, The forces of darkness attempted to make their claim. They brought accusations. They pointed to your past. They recited your fears. They reminded the heavens of your hesitation, your sin, your delay. But the blood spoke louder. And Michael, faithful and fierce, raised his sword and declared, "You cannot have what has already been sealed. You understand. You did not lose anything. What felt like delay was actually divine preservation. What seemed stolen was simply placed in reserve until your spirit awakened. There was no expiration of your promise, only a transfer of it into the realm of faith, waiting for your yes. The tears you cried were not wasted. They were weighed. They were recorded. They were gathered into vials and poured out before the throne. Every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, every gut-wrenching question, heaven read them like a scroll. And your restlessness, that was your spirit sensing the negotiation. You couldn't explain it, but you felt it. You felt the pull. You felt the interruption in your normal routine. You felt the urgency in your spirit, though nothing around you had changed. That was not anxiety. That was not random emotion. That was heaven's echo, the sound of angels moving, the sound of your name being spoken again in the throne room, the sound of destiny calling louder than delay. And now the exchange is complete. What was preserved is now prepared. What was guarded is now being granted. What was fought for in silence is now being revealed in glory. But remember this truth: the most powerful spiritual transactions don't happen in the spotlight. They happen in hidden places. They happen in secret obedience. They happen when no one else sees you say yes. You were not left behind. You were being protected in silence while heaven finalized what you never could have achieved on your own. Now the mantle is returning to you. And now the gates are creaking open. And now the angel steps back and says, "It is done." Let them claim what was preserved. It's time. Not because you forced it, but because heaven finished the fight. This was never about whether God would do it. It was about whether you would believe it long enough to receive it. Type "I receive what was preserved for me" in the comments. Blessing code 2929 is now releasing what Michael kept in your name. Now hear this, and hear it clearly. Heaven has not only preserved your breakthrough, heaven has recorded every injustice tied to it. There is a great reckoning taking place in the Spirit. The books have been opened. The scrolls have been examined. The tears you cried in silence, the betrayals you endured in silence, the spiritual sabotage, the whispers, the manipulation, none of it went unnoticed. Every fiery dart, every backroom conversation, every delay demonically orchestrated. Heaven saw it all. And now the scales are being balanced. The God you serve is not only a deliverer, he is a just judge. And justice delayed is never justice denied in the courts of heaven. What was done in the shadows to hinder, block, or sabotage your divine assignment is now being reversed with force. The very traps they laid for you are becoming pits they will fall into. The very words they spoke over you are returning to their own gates. This is the hour of divine reversal. The Spirit of the Lord says, "I have seen the hands that touched what I assigned. I have seen the lips that cursed what I had already blessed. And now I arise as the God of justice. I will restore, and I will repay. Yes, even now, while you read this, angels are delivering verdicts. Vindication is being loosed. Recompense is being prepared. And favor is being redirected back to your name. Those who plotted your downfall will now watch your divine rising. Not because you retaliated, but because you chose stillness. Not because you fought them, but because Michael fought for you. This is the reward of your silence, the blessing for your obedience, the outcome of your unwavering posture in the face of mockery and misunderstanding. You've seen delay, but now you will see double. You've known what it feels like to be the overlooked, but now you will become the undeniable. God is flipping the script, not to punish them, but to publicly honor you. There are moments when heaven chooses to make a point. This is one of those moments. God is not only releasing what was yours, He is making a statement through your life that His hand cannot be hindered, His word cannot be reversed, and His favor cannot be revoked. The ones who said you'd never rise will watch as you mount up on wings like eagles. The same people who said, "Where is their God?" will soon say, "Surely the Lord was with them." Not out of awe of you, but out of reverence for the one who never failed you. You didn't have to fight your own battle, because heaven already ruled in your favor. Now, let this be your posture. Do not gloat. Do not retaliate. Do not explain. Simply rise. This is not your hour to clap back. This is your hour to step forward. The throne room has spoken. The enemy's accusations have been overruled. The curses have been reversed. The harvest hath been released. This is divine justice. This is heaven's response. And it will not be silent. It will not be hidden. It will be seen, for the glory of God will rest upon you as a witness to His judgment and His mercy. Type "God is my judge and my defender" in the comments. Blessing code 8888 is releasing divine justice and reversing the verdicts of hell. Now hear the final word sealed over your spirit. Your September 6th breakthrough is real, reserved, and ready to be claimed. It was not a dream. It was not a coincidence. It was not a hopeful feeling in the dark. It was a divine assignment, guarded by Archangel Michael, sealed in the heavens, and now hovering in the realm of release, waiting for your response. Heaven watched as you endured what should have broken you. Heaven counted your steps when you walked in silence. Heaven kept your name before the throne when others forgot your presence on the earth. And now the time of watching has ended. This is the hour of stepping. This is the hour of claiming. This is the hour of receiving what was preserved. You have not missed it. You are not too late. The time has not expired. You are right on schedule in heaven's timeline, and this message is your activation moment. Everything that was declared, everything that was fought for, everything that was hidden, it now comes into view, into reach, into reality. So let this final decree settle deep in your soul. You are seen. You are sealed. You are sent. Seen, not by man, but by the King of Glory, who never turned His face from you. Sealed by the Spirit of the living God, who marked you with favor no enemy could erase. Sent, not as a wanderer, but as a warrior, equipped, mantled, and made ready for this exact moment in time. Walk boldly into what Michael has guarded. Speak clearly what heaven has declared. Move swiftly into what God has opened. The breakthrough has waited long enough. Now it is yours to claim. Let the enemy be silenced. Let the past be buried. Let the heavens rejoice. The appointed one has arisen. Type "I claim my September 6 breakthrough" in the comments if this word was yours. Blessing code 9900 is now fully activated in your life. Beloved, if this word reached into your soul, if you know this was written with your name on it, then do not let it return void. Help us carry this prophetic fire into the lives of others still waiting for their September 6 moment. Your giving isn't funding a platform, it's fueling a mission. Every seed you release through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or PayPal link in the description becomes a tool in the hand of God. It helps us reach more souls, break more chains, and awaken more warriors like you. Isaiah 58:8 says, "Then your light will break forth like the dawn." When you give into this word, your light becomes a signal to heaven, a declaration that you are aligned, anointed, and ready to impact others. Release your seed now. Let it speak for you. Let it testify that you received what Michael guarded. Don't delay. Destiny demands response. Sow into your shift.